Hi, welcome to Boyd's Bay Houseboat Holidays. We're just going to run through a couple of things with you today to prepare you for your trip, just so you can have a fantastic time. As you can see, there's plenty of parking here at the Tweed Marina for you and your guests. Park your car, come and see us at the office to check in, and then grab one of these silver trolleys, load up your gear and head on down to the boat. Welcome. So here we are on the Mary Claire. We're upstairs here on the upper deck, and we're just going to run through a couple of things with you before we get going. First thing is that you notice that you can actually drive from upstairs here. If you do drive from upstairs, both controls upstairs and downstairs need to be in neutral, and then there's a little switch you switch over, which I'll show you when we get down. Please don't go over 4,000 RPM. That's a pretty good speed to be traveling at, and you're not going to go any faster anyway if you do go more. This is your anchor light. This needs to be on over night time. So always ensure that your anchor light is on. So here we are, we've got our barbecue. We've got a spare gas bottle for our barbecue there. We've got our life ring, and we've got another life ring over there also. And that's pretty much it for up here, but let's go downstairs. So one of the most important things on board is your toilet. Nothing goes down that toilet except for small amounts of toilet paper. No baby wipes, no sanitary items, nothing goes down there except for human waste and small amounts of toilet paper. To flush this particular toilet, it's just a matter of putting your foot on the step, just like so, and you just push all the way down. Hold it down, and it's pumping up river water, so don't be afraid of running out of water. So here we are in the galley of Mary Claire. The fridge, it's a gas fridge. It's not as economical as a normal house fridge, so it's a good idea to put all your drinks in the esky upstairs. That way, not everybody's opening it every 5 minutes to get a drink out, and it stays a lot colder for a lot longer. The oven, the grill, it's just a matter of lifting this glass top, and then you just push the button in, light it up, hold it in for a few seconds, and it will stay lit. When you do turn it off and you finish cooking, just make sure it's cooled 100% before you drop that glass down. We've got our fire blanket over here, TV, stereo. If you do want to drive from upstairs, it's real easy. You just got to remember that both controls need to be in neutral, okay? This one's in neutral, upstairs is in neutral, then it's real easy. It's just a matter of pulling this out, turning it around and pushing that back in, okay? Then when you want to bring the controls back down, once again, both controls in neutral, pull that down, twist it and push it back in. Now the controls are back downstairs. Always travel with the current whenever you can. You're going to get there a lot quicker, you're going to save yourself time, you're going to save yourself money. When you do find a place where you'd like to anchor up, go past it a little bit and turn the boat around so you're going against the current, just for those last 20 metres or so. Pick a spot in your head, wherever you want to anchor, glide on in, knock it into neutral, and the current's going to slow you down. Okay, the current's going to slow you down. When you think the boat's come to a complete stop, that's when we're going to start dropping our anchor. And the current's going to bring you back. The current's going to bring the boat back. You're going to put 20 metres of chain out. 20 metres of chain every time you stop the boat, and you'll have no trouble whatsoever. We have the chain marked at 5 metres and 20 metres. 5 metres and 20 metres. To operate the anchor, it's just a matter of, here are your anchor controls. To bring the anchor up, you hit up, and to drop the anchor down, you go down. So let's go through the process of lowering the anchor. Once you think the boat's come to a complete stop, we're going to start dropping the anchor just by hitting our down button. Now the first mark we're going to see is that 5 metre mark. Which is marked there by a couple of cable ties. So these cable ties, so that's your first 5 metre mark. The next mark you're going to see is a couple more cable ties at the 20 metre mark. I'm not going to go there right now because it's just too far, so keep your eye out that for the second mark. Once you do get to your second mark, we're going to put this shackle on. It just goes through the link just like that. And then we're going to drop our chain just a little bit more, just so the chain goes slack. Okay, now there's nothing grinding on the mechanics of the winch, all the weight is on this rope here. Okay, so we've just dropped our anchor. Anchor's all good. Next thing we need to do is, look, if you're settling in for the day and you might be moving later, there's no real point in doing it, but if you are settled in for the night, it's good practice just to bring your both engines up out of the water. You do that by pushing your tilt motors, which are here, up. They've got up written on them and down written on them. Always bring them both up together and always drop them both down together. Next morning when you wake up, you'll want to move the boat again. First thing we really need to do is drop those engines back into the water. Once again, you do that by just hitting the down button on the tilt controls here. Okay. And then we always walk back and make sure that the engines have actually gone into the water before we're going to start them up. So let's just do that quickly. And then we're going to walk back down. Then we're just going to double check that the engines are in the water. Okay, so we've just walked back and physically checked that our engines are in the water. They both are. So now it's time to start our engines. We've got two keys up here. This left one is the port engine and the right one is the starboard engine. It's just a matter of turning it one click and then starting it just like you would a car. Now our next one. They are small engines on this particular boat, so just let them warm up for a couple of minutes. Okay, so we've got our engines started. Left keys for the left engine, right keys for the right engine. Same with your throttle controls. Your left throttle's for your left engine, right throttle is for your right engine. It's just a matter of when you are driving, click it into gear. The F and the F is for forward, forward. So those props are spinning now and then you can just accelerate from here. Okay. When you do bring it back out of gear though, you're going to bring it back and it is going to click into that forward position. Just note that it is still moving forward, so you need to bring it back to the end position to be completely in neutral. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start picking up our anchor. The first thing we're going to do though is we're going to lift the anchor just a little bit so we can take our shackle off. And you do that by hitting our anchor up and down button. We're going to bring it up just like so. We're going to take our shackle off. Just like so, and just drop that down there just like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually drive up towards our anchor. There's going to be a lot of tension on that chain because the current on the Tweed River is quite strong. So we're going to use our engines and we're going to drive towards the chain. As the chain goes slack, we're going to pick it up little by little, until eventually we get back down to our first 5 metre mark, which is our cable ties. When we get to our 5 metre mark, we know we've got 5 metres to go, which means our anchor is probably off the bottom. If not, it's going to be pretty soon and you're going to have full control of the boat. So we just bring it up little by little, using our engines to drive up to that anchor chain. And just bring it till the shackle's at the top of the roller, just like this. You don't have to bring the anchor all the way home, just bring it till the shackle's at the top of the roller. Okay, so here we are on our dinghy. This is our little 3 horsepower engine. I'm going to show you how to start it. First thing is, this is your gear on the left hand side as you look at the engine. That's forward, that's neutral, forward, neutral. On the other side, we've got our fuel. We need to turn our fuel on. Out is on. Okay, out is on. Next, we open up the little breather, this little grey cap on top of the fuel cap. That's your breather for your tank. Open that up. And then lastly, there's 2 arrows just here on your handle. See the main arrow there, then the second arrow there. Just line those up. Next thing you do is just grab the cord, take the compression, give it a little bit of a pull, and she'll start first go every time. To drive, now you just click it into gear, and away you go. Back into neutral. To stop the engine, you hit the red button, and that'll stop your engine. Okay? Remember to turn your fuel off when you're done, and also really important to close that little breather. If any rain or condensation get into the fuel tank, it's game over and the engine will not work. If it's a little bit cold in the mornings, this is your choke. You pull this out, okay? That's your choke. Pull it out, give it 1 or 2 pulls, and then that should get you going. I wouldn't use the choke for the rest of the day. They're really temperamental, these little engines, and you will flood it if you do use it too much. Here's your extra 5 litres of fuel, okay? These engines are 2-stroke, which means there's oil mixed in with the fuel, a special oil. Just bring this in of a night time, don't leave it in the boat. Bring it in of a night time. And just remember, we are in New South Wales here. Okay, we are in New South Wales, so if you're in this boat on your own, you need to wear a life jacket. If you're in this boat with 2 or more people, you don't need to wear the life jacket, but there need to be enough life jackets in the boat. So just grab a couple of spare life jackets from where they are on the main houseboat and keep them in here, and just bring them in of a night time when you bring your fuel in. Just remember also, if there's any children on board and they're under 12 years of age, they need to wear a life jacket at all times in this dinghy. That should be everything you need to know about safely operating Mary Claire. Have a safe trip and we'll see you when you get back.